Hey man, say man, 30 years ain't long enough for me when it comes to R. Kelly, man. But you know, this is just a small victory. My man's got 4 more cases or 3 more cases to do. I think he got one in, let's see, that was in Brooklyn. So I think he still got one to go in Chicago, Minnesota. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, R. Kelly, it's safe to say that R. Kelly is going to be spending the rest of his life in jail. That's just what it is. And today he was sentenced for federal racketeering and sex trafficking charges in a Brooklyn court. And for me, I don't feel sorry for him at all. Like I said, I don't think it's long enough. R. Kelly. God sent R. Kelly warning after warning after warning after warning to stop the type of behavior that he was doing. But he was so deeply enthralled into what he was doing and his own sexual gratifications that he just ignored it. I mean, this is the same man. He married a 14-year-old when he was 26-year-old named Leah. He married her and got away with it. Allegedly, he was fucking her mama. Allegedly, he gave the mom his masters to cover it up. I'm not sure. I don't know about what that is true, but we do know that they were married and he got away with it. We do know that he had sex with a minor on camera, urinated on her. It was at every hood when I was when I was a kid. It was in every hood store. People were buying it. People were watching it. The humiliation. Her parents, he bought them off. Sent them on a cruise when it was time to go to court. Lost the artist in Sparkle because that was her niece. He got away with it. Even when he was on trial for that case, he was meeting little girls at his trial that were outside with signs supporting him. He was meeting them. This was on Surviving R. Kelly. He literally was meeting people while he was fighting the same kind of case of what he was doing. The disregard. There was no responsibility on his end. Then he made music and trolled everyone. Hair braider, serve you up remix, talking about lemonade, talking about piss. He was trolling people. He used his sexual encounters and turned it into music, diamond, platinum records. Literally, this is the greatest R&B artist we have ever seen. And for 30 years, we did not know. Well, we did. Some of it we did. I can't lie. We as the people ignored the fact that R. Kelly was out here making music about minors. Minors. Once I was old enough to know, I learned, no, I'm not fucking with it. And the arrogance he had. He thought he was never going to get caught. He thought he was never going to get caught, people. You could just tell from them, like I said, judging by the music, still going to them strip clubs, still, having cults, even all the way up until he went to jail. It wasn't like he stopped and this is a past thing. No, R. Kelly literally all the way up until the day he was arrested, he was still doing this shit. Talking about he fighting for his life. He wasn't fighting for shit, man. You was fighting for your availability to continue having your cults and touching these women. And I know there are some parents to blame about these situations, but this ain't about the parents right now. I hate that, that deflecting shit, man. And just a side note, this is what I'll say about R. Kelly because his music was so great, it trumped everything. This is what I was saying about, I did a video earlier about Soulja Boy and his antics and everything he does in the media to stay popping, which I commend him how good he is at it. But at the end of the day, music trumps everything. So if you bring good music, you don't have to do that. And that's what worked. That's what worked for R. Kelly. He realized, listen, if I make great music, if I keep writing people music, if I write these hits and I keep going platinum and platinum and platinum and triple platinum and all that, then I'm going to have the power to where the people really don't care. He had the black community in a chokehold. He's been fucking on women, young women, minor women, underage women for 30 years. That's documented as a celebrity. So it's not to me, it's not crazy to me that he got 30 years today. And who's to say what he was doing before that? Before he got on in the music industry? It could well over be 40 years. Who's to know what he was doing as a minor? As a minor, he could have been touching younger kids. Who knows? This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning for R. Kelly. Like I said, he has more cases to fight. It is what it is for him. You know, he's in jail. He's already been stabbed. Remember, he got stabbed in jail? Yeah. You really about to fight. It's time to fight now, R. Kelly. Whatever prison they send you to, good luck for you. You know? I think that the adults, I don't want to put, I'm going to put 95% of this on R. Kelly. We still got the adults who failed him as a child. This is where I want to get a little serious. R. Kelly was touched as a child. I'm not sure. He never really said before. I think he said maybe his sister touched him and somebody else. But you know, the thing is, I've met people who were touched, and you know, the thing about that is that when you have been not protected as a child and exposed to sexual activities at a young age, everybody I know that has been through those experiences, and this is including men that think that at the time it was okay, they all have been overly sexualized. They compensate by being over sexual. It's like they can't control it. And to be honest with you, the thing about R. Kelly is that he was kind of doomed and failed as a kid. Whoever was supposed to be protecting him, he was failed. And his own trauma made him out of control. But the only reason I don't feel sorry for him is because at some point, as an adult, you have to break a cycle. You have to learn that, you know what, I need to get help. And you didn't do it. You never went and got help, R. Kelly. So I can't feel sorry for you as an adult about what happened to you as a kid when you're continuing to hurt people and, you know, being a damage to the society. The stories that we've heard is just, it's ridiculous, man. You used your blessings and your talents that God gave you to get out of them traumatic situations and to be rich and financially free, and for you to protect your own children one day and to actually go get the help you need so you can suppress these sexual urges. You use those talents for evil, and you just hurt person after person after person. There are literally 40, 45-year-old women speaking at your case, saying how you affected them when they were 17, just trying to make it in the industry. Imagine being 17 and having trauma up until today where you're 45 years old because a man took advantage of you sexually, had a cult, had you doing weird shit. And because he's been famous and he had the power and the money is why he won. We as a society failed these women. R. Kelly was failed as a child. And at the end of the day, this is going to be a day where justice was served. And for the next 30 years, he's going to be sitting in a cell. He's probably going to die in prison because he has 3 more cases to fight. Maybe they run it concurrent, maybe they don't. But this is the day where we realize that R. Kelly will no longer be a factor in this world. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. And we out, baby. Boom.
You are now tuned in to the LaFlair Lounge with your host, Big Just LaFlair.
You are watching a master at work.
Our Daddy Channel. Subscribe for Daddy Channel.